You're welcome today. All right, friends. This moment, let's just talk about one very interesting thing, and I just feel like discussing with us on you and your zone of excellence. You and your zone of excellence. See, every leader has a zone of excellence where superb leadership happens. It's not a struggle. It's not a struggle. So it's not like, well, let's be trying our best. Sometimes I don't like when people say, let me try my best. You basically don't try your best, but you can live your best. And so you and your zone of excellence is very critical for you to enjoy superb leadership. And it's not a struggle. It's not a struggle at all. You know, people usually have a lot of struggles, a lot of challenges and tough issues. Those are normal things. But tough issues shouldn't be because a leader is doing some sharp practices, outwitting people, or doing some of those things, some of those unnecessary things that people do as though they are struggling or competing or fighting with those they are leading. So struggles and challenges happen because you are in the process of honing your leadership capacities. But it shouldn't be because you are outwitting others or because you want to stab on other people. You want to no. Those things are not leadership at all. Those are not leadership. Exactly as I said earlier, it's about your state of being. So understand this is about you first, who you are, because your function must start with who you are. If you have not become, then you can't be. So you must first of all become so you can be. And it's in that becoming that we are looking at your zone of excellence, the centrality of who you are, your zone of excellence. Now, this zone of excellence happens first within your transcendent identity or your God-given identity and purpose, right? So your zone of excellence is working in line with your God-given identity and purpose that helps you to shape your spiritual gifts and natural talents and skills, and also to work with your shaping influences and gain wisdom over time through sufferings and hardship. Because you must have gained wisdom over time through sufferings and hardship, and you must also have learned how to hone your skills and your natural talents. So this is a zone of excellence where superb leadership happens, but it doesn't happen overnight. It's because you have learned to hone your skills, sharpen yourself, cultivate those innate abilities that can help you do well. That's critical. And so the zone of excellence is very, very important. As a matter of fact, let me let you know that what we are looking at in leadership is excellence, not necessarily success. For example, some people would find success as, see success as doing their best, or success is about doing my best. But it's not so. But excellence is different. Excellence is about being your best, right? So excellence is about being your best. Some people also look at success on the grounds of established goals. They see it as achieving better than others. They say success. They look at other people as their markers or their yardstick. Or they see it also as succeeding or having achievements more than other people, or achieving more than every other person. That's what some people call success. But we are not called to success, we are called to excellence. And excellence is matching your practice with your purpose. Very critical. Matching your practice with your purpose. What you are doing, is it in line with your purpose? If what you are doing is not in line with your purpose, speed will be a disadvantage. So you need to understand that what you are doing must be in line with your purpose, so that speed will be an advantage to you. So let's look at that zone of excellence. And so it's a zone where superb leadership happens. It doesn't happen with struggle. It happens with time, because you have learned to hone your leadership. To hone means to you have learned to craft and train yourself. You have learned to sharpen yourself to be able to produce better results over time. And there are like 6 zone markers. I'll let you know. Excuse me. 6 zone markers in your zone of excellence. And these are things you should be looking at in your zone of excellence. And you have to be very, very conscious and detailed about it, and know how these markers are helping you, or how you are working through these markers to ensure that you you become that well-aligned leader, like we talked about in the last video, well-aligned leader that you ought to be. All right. So a leader working in his zone of excellence will have to be one who has learned to be well aligned, aligning his transcendent identity with his spiritual gifts and natural talents and skills and trainings, and as well as his wisdom, having gained wisdom over time through sufferings and hardship in his own sphere. All right, so you need to understand that. So let me tell us about zone markers, like 6 zone markers. Number 1 zone marker is your transcendent identity. Never joke with who you are in God. Don't joke with it. A lot of people joke with it, but they get nowhere. Don't joke with it. Who you are in God, your God-given identity. Very, very critical. Very, very critical. Let me then ask you a question. I think God sees you as a teacher, but you are working as as probably a trader, because you said, well, because of the money, well, I don't like trading. I'm a teacher, but because of the money, well, let me go and work to do trading. You won't do well. No matter what you do, you won't do well. You may learn the skills, learn it, but you have limitations because you do the flow. All right, so let me tell us these zone markers. Your transcendent identity is critical. How does God see you? What is your identity in Christ? Because it begins with who you are in God, in Christ. So your transcendent identity is critical. That's one major zone marker. Number 2, another zone marker is your spiritual gifts. When we talk about spiritual gifts, we're not talking about things that are not reachable. We're talking about things that are reachable. Spiritual gifts are extraordinary things done in extraordinary ways, right? Spiritual gifts make extraordinary things to be done in extraordinary ways. So you need that endowment and empowerment that is only God that can give. All right, so that's the second zone marker. The third zone marker I want to give you here is your talents. It's a zone marker. These markers, we talk about zone markers because these are things, ingredients, basic markers that you must look at. All right, or areas where you must have to hone. You must have to know whether you really have these things on your chessboard. Your talents. What are your talents? All right, so your talents makes ordinary things to be done in extraordinary ways. When again you are talented, ordinary things will basically be done in extraordinary ways. All right, so then the fourth zone marker is your skills. Skills, routine things done in extraordinary ways. That's what it will help you do, to make routine things to be done in extraordinary ways. Once you have gained that skill, routine things will be done in extraordinary ways. That's mastery of the skill. All right, so the next zone marker is the sphere, because the sphere is the space, the environment, the space where you exert your leadership being, or where you undertake your leading function. The sphere, the space, the sphere is very, very important. It is those ordinary places that shape us into extraordinary people, into extraordinary leaders. Those ordinary places that shape us into our extraordinary leaders. Those are the space. All right. Then the other ones are shaping influences. Shaping influences. The number six, shaping influences. You don't joke with your shaping influences. Shaping influences are your hardships, your struggles, your challenges, uh, all the challenges and pains and failures around you. Make them use them like a stepping stone, all right, to higher levels. So those shaping influences are more like challenging moments that shape us into extraordinary leaders. Right? So, challenging moments that shape us into extraordinary leaders. Now, these zone markers are very, very critical. One, I said transcendent identity. Two, your giftings, spiritual giftings. Three, your talents. Four, your skills. Five, your sphere, your space. And then six, your shaping influences. Now, these are zone markers because excellence does not just happen overnight. Excellence must happen within your zone of excellence. When you discover these things and hunt them and train yourself within this realm, within these markers, you would have gained, you would have gained a whole lot of capacities to be within your zone of excellence. And leaders who do well are those who operate within their zone of excellence. If you are living or if you are working outside the zone of excellence, you won't do well. And so as a leader, learn to work within your zone of excellence. You can't do everything. Learn to understand your zone of excellence. That is where superb and great leadership happens. That's where extraordinary leadership happens. And for you, you wouldn't want to waste your time doing things that you are not supposed to do. Just focus on your zone of excellence and see you doing marvelously well. Thank you so much. Let me stop there for now. In the next video, we'll talk more. And you can make your comments, make your inquiries or questions, like and share, and get other people involved to join us in this training voyage. I'm sure that you like it. And it will be a blessing too if you get other people too, because they'll be so happy because you got them involved. Thank you so much, and God bless you. Till then, we'll see you again next time.